Tate.
Yo.
Man, I just had a crazy ass dream, bro.
About what?
About some messy ass shit.
And now we have breaking news in the entertainment world. A member of the award-winning rap group Migos was shot and killed this morning in Houston, Texas. According to Variety, Takeoff, whose real name is Kershnik Kari Ball, was killed at a bowling alley. Quavo, also a member of Migos, was also there but was not hurt. Now, 2 other people were also shot and taken to the hospital. Takeoff started rapping with Quavo and Offset in 2008, and the 3 released their first mixtape as Migos in 2011.
It was supposed to be another night of celebration, another night filled with music, laughter, and the company of friends. But before the sun rose over Houston, Texas, a young superstar would be lying on the ground, surrounded by chaos and confusion. Witnesses would later describe hearing a sudden burst of gunfire. Videos would spread across the internet within hours. Rumors would flood social media. And millions of people around the world would ask the same haunting question. How did one of the most respected and unproblematic figures in hip-hop lose his life in a matter of seconds? This is the tragic story of Takeoff. Born Kershnik Kari Ball, Takeoff entered the world on June 18, 1994. Long before sold-out arenas and platinum records, he was simply a kid growing up in Lawrenceville, Georgia. He was raised alongside his uncle Quavo and his cousin Offset. The 3 shared more than family ties. They shared a dream. Music became their escape, their passion, their future. As teenagers, they spent countless hours writing lyrics, creating beats, and imagining a life beyond their neighborhood.
Eventually, that dream became reality. Together, they formed the group known as Migos. What started as a local rap act quickly transformed into a global phenomenon. Hit after hit followed. Versace, Bad and Bougie, Walk It Talk It. The trio became one of the most influential groups in modern hip-hop. Yet among all the fame and attention, Takeoff stood apart. He was quiet, reserved, focused. While other artists often found themselves surrounded by controversy, Takeoff built a reputation for staying out of trouble. Fans admired him for his calm personality. Friends described him as humble and respectful. He loved music, he loved family, and he seemed more interested in perfecting his craft than seeking attention. Many people viewed him as the heart of Migos, the one who let his talent speak louder than his words. That reputation would make what happened next even harder to understand. As October 2022 came to an end, Takeoff was enjoying a successful chapter of his career. He and Quavo had recently released a collaborative project. The future looked bright. There were new opportunities ahead, new music, new performances, new goals. No one around him could have imagined how quickly everything would change. On the evening of October 31, 2022, Halloween celebrations were taking place across Houston. The city was alive with activity. People filled clubs, parties, and entertainment venues. Among them was Takeoff. He was spending time with Quavo and several friends. The group eventually arrived at a private gathering held at a bowling alley and billiards venue in downtown Houston. At first, the atmosphere appeared relaxed. Videos from earlier in the night showed people socializing and enjoying themselves. Nothing seemed unusual. Nothing seemed dangerous. Hours passed. Conversations continued, games were played. The night moved forward like countless nights before it. But beneath the surface, tensions were quietly beginning to build. As the gathering continued into the early hours of November 1st, a disagreement reportedly emerged among members of the group.
Accounts would later differ regarding exactly what sparked the argument. Some claimed it involved a game. Others pointed to personal disputes. What everyone agreed on was that emotions were rising. Voices became louder. Tempers began to flare.
Witnesses later recalled seeing people gathering around the confrontation. Some attempted to calm the situation. Others watched from nearby. Takeoff, according to investigators, was not an active participant in the dispute. He appeared to be standing nearby, an observer rather than a participant. A man simply present at the wrong place and the wrong time. Then everything changed. Without warning, gunfire erupted. Panic exploded through the crowd. People screamed. People ran. The sound of bullets echoed through the night. What had been a celebration only moments earlier transformed into a scene of terror. In the confusion, nobody seemed certain what was happening. Everyone's focus shifted to survival, finding cover, finding safety, finding a way out. When the shooting finally stopped, the devastating reality began to emerge. Several people had been struck. Among them was Takeoff. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but the injuries were catastrophic. The 28-year-old rapper was pronounced dead.
No. I'm a nurse. Hey, I'm a nurse.
News spread with incredible speed.
Now, CNN has just confirmed the rapper known as Takeoff from the platinum-selling group Migos, he's died. He was fatally shot overnight in Houston, Texas. CNN's Rosa Flores is live in Houston with more on this. Rosa, what are you learning about what happened here?
Well, Kate, this is according to a source close to the rapper group Migos, telling my colleagues Chloe Mellis and Lisa France, identifying this rapper Takeoff as the individual who was shot and killed overnight here in Houston. To be clear, the Houston Police Department has not identified the individual who was deceased, but the Houston Police Department has been giving us some information. According to HPD, this shooting happened in downtown Houston at a bowling alley at about 2:30 this morning. They say that there was a private party happening at this bowling alley with 40 to 50 people when shots rang out. And even though the police is not identifying Takeoff as the individual who was shot and killed, police do say and confirm that there were members of the rapper group Migos present at this party. They also do say that the individual who died is a person who's in their late 20s, a black male, and they also say that 2 individuals were transported to the hospital in their private vehicles. So again, Kate, the latest here from Houston is that rapper Takeoff has died. He was shot and killed overnight, and this is according to a source close to Migos telling CNN.
Within hours, social media platforms were flooded with posts, videos, and speculation. Fans around the world struggled to process the shocking reports. Many refused to believe them. How could this be true? How could someone known for avoiding conflict become the victim of such violence? As dawn arrived, tributes began pouring in from every corner of the music industry. Artists, athletes, celebrities, friends, fans. Everyone seemed united in grief. The loss felt personal, not just because Takeoff was famous, but because so many people believed he represented something rare. A talented artist who carried himself with humility. A man who avoided drama. A person who seemed destined for many more years of success. Meanwhile, investigators faced a difficult challenge. The crime scene contained dozens of potential witnesses, yet obtaining clear answers would prove far from easy. Many individuals who had been present left the area shortly after the shooting. Others were reluctant to cooperate. Videos circulating online provided glimpses of the chaos, but not the complete picture. Detectives knew they needed more. Much more.
The investigation quickly became one of the most closely watched cases in the country. Houston police worked to gather surveillance footage. They collected cell phone recordings. They interviewed witnesses. Piece by piece, they attempted to reconstruct the final moments before the shooting. Every second mattered. Every frame of video mattered. Every statement mattered. Investigators soon reached an important conclusion. Evidence suggested that Takeoff had not initiated the conflict. In fact, authorities indicated he was likely an innocent bystander. That revelation only deepened public sorrow. The idea that someone uninvolved in the argument could lose his life made the tragedy even more heartbreaking. Weeks passed. Questions remained unanswered. Who fired the fatal shots? What exactly happened during those chaotic moments? And would anyone be held accountable? Public pressure intensified. Millions of people followed every update, every rumor, every development. Then investigators began identifying key individuals who had been present. Among those drawing attention was a man known as Cameron Joshua. Authorities arrested him on a weapons-related charge connected to the events surrounding the shooting. For a brief period, many believed the mystery had been solved. But investigators soon clarified an important detail. They did not believe Joshua had fired the fatal shots. The case remained open. The search continued. Behind the scenes, detectives kept analyzing evidence. Hours of surveillance footage were reviewed repeatedly. Witness accounts were compared. Forensic evidence was examined in detail. The process was slow, painfully slow. But investigators believed they were getting closer. Then came the breakthrough. Roughly 1 month after the shooting, authorities announced the arrest of Patrick Xavier Clark. According to investigators, evidence pointed to Clark as the individual responsible for firing the shot that killed Takeoff. The announcement generated massive attention. For many observers, it appeared the case had finally turned a corner. Yet the story was far from over. Clark denied wrongdoing. Legal proceedings began. Arguments emerged regarding evidence. Questions continued to surface. Supporters on both sides debated the case. As months turned into years, the legal battle moved through the court system. The tragedy itself never faded from public memory. Fans continued honoring Takeoff's legacy. His music remained popular. His influence remained undeniable. And every major update in the case attracted widespread attention. Beyond the courtroom, the emotional damage lingered. Family members faced the impossible reality of moving forward without him. Friends spoke openly about their grief. Quavo, in particular, struggled with the loss. The two had shared a bond extending far beyond music. They were family. They had grown up together, dreamed together, succeeded together. Now, one of them was gone. For many fans, that reality remains the most painful part of this story. Not the celebrity headlines, not the court filings, not the endless online debates, but the simple fact that a life was cut short, a future interrupted, a family forever changed. The case also reignited conversations about violence within entertainment culture. Many observers questioned how disputes could escalate so quickly, how a disagreement lasting mere moments could produce consequences lasting a lifetime.
The answers remain difficult, perhaps impossible, but the questions continue to resonate. Even today, people revisit the events of that night. They watch the videos, they study the reports, they search for clarity. Yet beneath every theory and every discussion lies a much simpler truth. A talented young man lost his life. A family lost a son, a brother, a nephew, a friend. And millions of fans lost an artist they admired. Takeoff's story is often described as a cautionary tale, a reminder of how fragile life can be, how quickly circumstances can change, How one unexpected moment can alter countless lives forever. The music remains. The memories remain. The impact remains. But the questions surrounding that night continue to cast a long shadow. Perhaps that is why this case still captures attention years later. Not because of celebrity, not because of fame, but because it forces us to confront something deeply unsettling. The randomness of tragedy, the unpredictability of violence, and the painful reality that sometimes a person can do everything right and still become a victim of circumstances beyond their control. On what should have been an ordinary night among friends, the world lost Takeoff. A quiet star, a respected artist, a man whose life ended far too soon. And as the legal process continues and new details emerge, one thing remains certain.
The events of that Houston night will never be forgotten. The echoes of those gunshots continue to reverberate through the music world, through his family, through his fans, and through everyone who still wonders how such a promising life could disappear in a matter of seconds. What do you think about the Takeoff case? Do you believe justice will ever fully answer the questions surrounding that tragic night? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy true crime documentaries and in-depth case breakdowns, subscribe and turn on notifications for more stories that explore the mysteries, tragedies, and unanswered questions that continue to captivate the world.